Turn on the recording?
Yeah.
Good. Thank you. All right. Good morning, co banker George, and I hope you had a nice weekend. Ruben has a little medical emergency today, and so I'll be conducting the meeting on behalf of him. So hope you had a nice weekend, and it's getting to be almost winter now, and the weather is getting cooler. So watch out your when you go out, bring an extra jacket in your car. That will help to prevent some emergencies. And also, I just want to remind you, at this time of the year, the flu shot is very beneficial for everybody, especially for older people. And I was told that this year the flu is really much worse than last year. So just be prepared and get a flu shot. Also, there was COVID shot available too. Last week I did mine, and it was a little bit painful, but it's a necessary evil. So I hope people will don't think that the COVID is gone away. It's still lingering around us. So be very careful. Okay, with that, I would like to start the meeting. And what I will do is I will introduce the affiliate first, and we'll have Sandy spotlighting the topic today. Okay, so let's begin with Annie. Annie, can you say a few words?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Happy Monday. Hope everyone had a nice weekend. Please contact me if you're about to get a listing. We have a great marketing package. If you can just give me a call, I'll give you guys the details. But just give you guys a little heads up about the AB 1033. I contacted an HOA attorney that's very known in the business, and right now he's saying that he doesn't even know yet about the HOA plans because he needs each city to opt in. So he told me to hang tight. So as I get updates, I'll let you guys know. And also I contacted my contact at the LA County Assessor's Office, and they're creating a one-sheet FAQ. So as soon as I get that, I will give it to Ruben so he can disperse it to everyone. But everyone have a great week. And like I said, if you guys have any questions, give me a call.
Thank you, Annie. Appreciate that. I think we have Brendan on the line. Brendan, can you say a few words?
Can you see me? All right.
Yeah, I see you.
I just wanted to hop on and let everybody know that yes, I'm Clark Kent today, and I will see you guys at the potluck later today at the office.
Right. Good.
So I look forward to seeing everyone. And now that we like Peter said, we're in Q4. We're at the end of the year. If you need anything from me, you know where I am. Contact me. I'm here to help you and to start and end the end of the year on a high note and start the beginning of the year right way. So I'm here for you guys and look forward to seeing you at lunch.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Brendan. Do we have any other affiliates besides Sandy? Well, if not, Sandy, it's all yours.
Perfect. I like how it works like that, Peter. About what I talked about Thursday at the Arcadia meeting. So most of you know that the sellers nowadays are interviewing 2 or 3 agents before they list their house. And it's one thing to be able to get the listing appointment, and that's fantastic. But you need to have more tools at your disposal so you can actually get the listing, okay? Because every agent says the same thing. I can sell your house. I can sell your house faster, better, right? You guys are all the Clark Kents of real estate. Faster, better, stronger. Everyone says that. But what can you do to stand apart? How about we consider and think about this listing coverage, okay? So you're at a listing appointment, and everything's going just great. And you can say to the sellers, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, your house is beautiful. You can tell that you put all the love and care into it in 40 years, but stuff happens. And I want to protect you and your profits. So while we're during that period, but with the time we put the house on the market until we close escrow, let me put a home warranty on the house for you as my gift to you. Quite frankly, off to the side, it's going to cost you $48 a month. Okay, I think you can afford it if you get a listing. Average house price in California is over 800,000. You can afford $50. So, let me do that for you just in case something pops up, because things do happen, right? Water heaters go out, dishwashers break, the little things that can happen that can either slow down the sale or maybe even potentially stop you from going into escrow. So let me do that to you. Nobody else is going to say that, right? Sign the listing agreement. Tell them that you'll do this for them. Let them pay the service fee if they need to place a claim. We'll bill the seller's coverage, the $48.60 a month, along in the same invoice we do the buyer's policy. There's a couple of win-wins here. So we all think of home warranties as protection for the buyer, and they are, but they also protect the seller, because without a home warranty, the seller is at risk of the crazy buyer coming in and something breaking and them suing them, because that's what we do in California. Something doesn't go our way, the first thing we do is get a lawyer, right? And we sue. And if you don't have an avenue of remedy, i.e. a home warranty if your dishwasher breaks, your water heater, whatever, then you're going to be like, well, I can't afford this. They didn't tell me, I'm going to sue them, right? Even if they don't win the lawsuit, it's an annoyance. And it's one you don't need, right? So it truly does protect the seller. They want to take the money they make from their house and they want to go move to Idaho or wherever they're going. They don't need some nonsense coming up 3 or 4 months later. So it does protect sellers. Obviously, it protects the buyers. It also protects you from getting dragged into lawsuits, which we'd all like to avoid as much as possible. So it is something that can help you stand apart from the crowd 100%. And here's the other win. Let's say you have listing coverage on the property. You get an offer and you go into escrow. Fantastic. And then you do the home inspection report. And there's a leaking faucet, the ceiling fan doesn't work in one of the bedrooms. And who knew that exhaust fan in the bathroom wasn't working, and the dishwasher died? All of those things are covered by the home warranty. So instead of this huge list of repairs or requests for repairs, place a couple of claims with the home warranty and these problems are solved. And go one step further. The day before escrow closes, if something breaks, it's covered, and we'll fix it even after the new buyer moves in. Here's the only thing that we ask of you. You cannot put listing coverage on a property and not get the buyer's policy. They go hand in hand. It is not a standalone policy.
Oh,
You cannot buy listing coverage and then say, oh, sorry, we're going to go with company B for the buyer. It's not how it works. As much as we all love you, we want the buyer's policy. Okay, because they're going to live in their house for years. And if they live in their house for years and they use their home warranty, they'll renew it. So we're going to dangle the listing coverage in front of you as a good selling tool because we want the buyer's policy, right? So all we ask is that salespeople, when you go into escrow and you accept an offer, that you tell the buyer's agent, you know what, we've already got a home warranty in place. It benefits your client because it's a seamless rollover to your client, and fewer claims are denied for pre-existing conditions because there was already a home warranty in place. It's a win-win for everyone. But let's say, whatever, the buyer's agent says, nope, my sister's husband owns company B, got to have that home warranty. We'll cancel the home. Don't worry about it. I mean, don't lose a deal over a home warranty. But when that happens, you have to let me know right away because we're going to stop the seller from using it, right? As soon as possible. If the deal falls out of escrow or if it goes into escrow and they want a different buyer's policy, you have to let me know as soon as possible because my end goal is the buyer's policy. So, but it is a tremendous tool that you can use to help differentiate yourself from the other agents that they are interviewing to sell their house. I have agents who use it on every single listing. They've used it maybe once or twice, but that's all it needs to be. If they never use it, okay, it cost you $48. You still got the listing. No harm, no foul. If they use it and you saved them hundreds of dollars, you're the rock star that did that and sold their house. That's how you build referrals. So keep that in mind. It is a win-win. And Peter, I just see that Angie jumped on a little late. She probably wants to say hi because I can see her in her car.
I'll let her say hi after you.
Just so she's there. Just so you're there.
Yeah,
So that
I
you
know
know
that.
she's there.
I saw
But if you guys have any questions on listing coverage, you don't have to start it the day you take the listing, right? But you can start it as soon as the day you take the listing. It goes in effect until escrow closes. Okay, and then it rolls over to the buyer. It is as easy as rolling off the listing appointment and texting me, hey, Sandy, just took an order at 1234 Main Street. The seller's names are Bob and Carol Smith. Please put it on. And the next day it's effective. There's no waiting period. They can place it now. The only coverage that we offer, though, is basic plus up to $1,000 for heat and air. Okay, you can't do pool, you can't do roof, you can't do washer, dryer, refrigerator. None of the optional coverages, just basic, which is plumbing, heating, electrical, plumbing stoppages, ceiling fans, water heaters, dishwashers, ovens and stoves. All those are included. And other home warranty companies that offer this same coverage will have a cap on their coverage. We don't have a cap other than the $1,000 for electrical. I mean, for air conditioning, there's no cap, like $600 for something. The only cap we have is on air conditioning. So it's a tool that's vastly underused that can really help you stand apart in a very crowded field that you're in. Very crowded field. So you have to do something so they'll go, oh yeah, that's genius, because everyone else is saying the same thing. Everyone is. So say something different.
Yeah. So Sandy, it's for the period during escrow, and then after the escrow, it roll over to the buyer's policy, right?
Absolutely
So,
seamlessly.
okay, so if the escrow is only 20 days, we still charge 1 month?
Well, no, we do $1.62 times however many days.
Oh, I
Times-
see. That's
So it roughly is $48 a month, you know.
Okay.
But if you have a short escrow, 1.62 times however many days you're in escrow.
Yeah. That's a
It's
small price to pay for all the trouble.
if you can get the listing because of it, it's a small price to pay
Yeah. It's not too
and
bad.
can really make you stand apart and can actually save them. You know, what if their dishwasher does break? That's $600. Water heater, $1,200 to $2,000, right? So there are costs associated that really can be offset by the home warranty, even at the basic level. So something to think about, and it's super easy. It couldn't get any easier than calling or texting me and telling me what the address is and what the seller's name is. It doesn't get any easier than that.
Does it cover the plumbing and electrical
Yes,
problems?
plumbing stoppages, leaking faucets, you know, the stuff that happens. Yeah,
But say if they have an integrated system of electrical system, and the seller purchase a policy, you know, seller's policy, would that cover before?
yes, but we're never in the position where we're going to upgrade them. Like if a circuit breaker blows, yeah, we can replace the circuit or the breaker. That's fine, right? But an entire electrical panel is generally not, it's covered, but it's generally not the problem. The problem usually is the houses are too old and you're asking it to do more than it's supposed to do. That's not covered by your home warranty. If you have a house that was built in the 50s or 60s and you've never upgraded the electrical panel, it wasn't built to withstand what you're doing to it, right? Back when the houses were built in the 60s, you had 2 TVs, and a refrigerator and a washer and a dryer. You didn't have 6 TVs, right? 3 refrigerators. So we cover the things that break due to normal wear and tear, but we're not going to upgrade their panel because they're asking too much of it, right? If it's a 200 amp panel and they're trying to ask 240 or 2, that you're asking it to do more than it's allowed to do. But if you blow a circuit or you blow a breaker, we'll replace the breaker, but we're not going to upgrade their panel if they're asking it to do too much.
How about installing a Tesla charger?
No, we don't install stuff. We don't install.
Good try, huh?
No, nice try. No, and you know what? Someday, probably not in the distant future, we're going to have to. The industry is going to have to start considering solar as something that's, because it's going to be required in California, and that's something we are not looking forward to. But it's probably coming in the next 5 or 10 years for us.
Yeah.
Sandy, Jeffrey.
Hey,
Morning, Sandy, Jeffrey. I have quick questions. So I can tell my seller for the listing that I can cover your home warranty, the basic one, for 1 month, right?
yes.
That's on me.
For as long as escrow takes. But when you go into escrow, the new buyer gets to be covered by me too for 12 months. It's not one or the other. They go together.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
so that's 1 month, right? Basic.
Yep.
The basics is $50.
It's $48.60 for 1 month.
Great. Yeah, great.
Yep.
Great.
It's
great,
that,
yeah,
it's
great.
literally that easy.
I agree with you. Great too. Thank you.
Thank you.
More price to pay.
I would like to ask Sandy something too. This is
Yes,
Catherine,
yes.
Sandy.
Hi,
Do you
Catherine.
have the basic prices for what it covers? You know, just in case if we get to talking to them, we know what we're talking about.
Basic, like, so the,
Like what all the things that the basic
Oh.
cover.
yeah, oh, all the things that basic covers. Yes, I do. I actually have a bullet point. I have
Uh-huh.
I can absolutely bring that or email it to you.
Well, could you do that, please?
I can.
All right, thank you.
Sandy, can you email it to me too, Jeffrey?
Yes.
You got
Okay.
the email?
Put it in chat for me real quick.
Sure. Thank you.
Anyone else got any questions? This is a win-win-win, you guys.
So this is something new in your company, the other, home warranty doesn't offer that, right?
Every home warranty company offers it, which is
Oh,
funny.
everything. awesome.
We've offered it for 35 years. It's the best kept secret. It's like a lost leader in a grocery store, that shiny object they put at the end of the aisle to get you to walk down the aisle and buy all the stuff. That's what seller's coverage is. Nobody talks about it because it's confusing, right? And nobody talks about it because the listing agent usually doesn't pick the home warranty. You usually let the buyer's agent do that.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is no more. Don't let if you're going to pick this coverage, you cannot let the buyer's agent do that, right? You have to stand up and say, nope, sorry. It's already got a home warranty. It rolls over to your buyer. It is what it is. Your salespeople make that work, right? And I mean, don't lose a deal over it. I get it. But you can do this. Just tell them, no, I've already got a home warranty in place and it benefits your client anyway. And quite frankly, Sandy's better than anyone else. So live with it and I'll get a new client out of them too. So it's a win-win-win.
Yeah. Okay, sounds good.
Anyone else have any questions? I really think this is something you guys should try. On your next listing appointment, let me know how it goes.
You get my email, Sandy? Jeffrey?
I'm doing it right now. Yep.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Any more questions for Sandy? Okay, Sandy, thank you so much.
And I'll
Good
see everybody at
information.
noon.
And you have a nice cruise, okay? Next week, right?
I get
Right.
5 days, Peter, 5 days.
In 5 days, okay. All right, you have a nice one, all right?
See you guys at noon.
Okay, I think we missed Angie. Angie, welcome to the meeting and for you to say hi to us.
Yes. Hi, CBG. Hi, Peter. Hi, everyone. Angie Tanning, First American Title. I wanted to tell you that today I got a message from my office saying that there's a lot of fraud happening on wire frauds coming from escrow, almost on a daily basis, which is outrageous. So almost on a daily basis, which means your file could be one of those files that get hit and targeted for the fraudulent wires. So what they're doing is the emails coming from the escrow officers to send us the demands, they get compromised as it's going through to us. So it's not that the escrows are committing the fraud, but their email addresses get hacked. And then once it gets hacked, as it's coming to us, the demands get changed, the wire numbers get changed, and then we end up catching it either on the title unit or on a payoff department. So when we check, we're double checking because we've got the title unit checking and then we've got our payoff department checking. And this is happening on a daily basis. So you might want to make sure when I guess when you're dealing with wire frauds, it's not so much that you guys can do anything about it, but just keep in mind that at least First American is being on top of it because we see it happening so often that we have a 2-step to make sure that it doesn't, it's less likely to happen on your files. Because once it happens to your files, guess what? More than likely your file is not going to close because the wire's been compromised. How is the buyer going to get new money once it's been compromised? It's really difficult. So just keep that in mind when you're dealing with your next escrows because it's happening almost on a daily basis. It's outrageous, but this is the time of times. It's horrible. So at least we're doing what we need to do to protect our clients. So it's always, almost like a security for you guys to work with us so that we can make sure that this doesn't happen. So we're catching it, which is great. Just hope
Yeah.
that we don't let one slip.
So do you suggest that we call the title company or the escrow company before you make the wire?
Yeah, I think you should definitely make the phone calls just in case, but it's hard to, even once you make the phone call, even the escrows don't know that their emails have been compromised until after we get the payoffs, and then we see the demands that they're when it gets to payoff, we check the demands and then the numbers don't match.
Mhm.
So it's very hard, even if we follow up with a phone call, because once you call us or call escrow, they think that their email went through correctly. But
Mhm.
as it's going through the system, it gets tapped in and then they change it, attach a different wire instructions, and then they send it in, then it arrives to our inbox. So it's
So
just,
how can you prevent it completely?
it's almost, okay, well, there's one thing that I thought about, which I was gonna check with compliance and make sure that this is something that we can do. So, you know how we have Ignite RE? So
Mhm.
through Ignite RE, people can use our safety cloud because it's a First American cloud. It's a cloud-based system. Under the transactions portal, you could submit, you know, very, I guess, sensitive information through that portal. And then our escrow officers, the escrow officer will send it to our title unit, and then our title unit will deliver that over to our payoff department. And that will at least give a little bit more security because it's harder for them to tap into our system versus just any Gmail system or any regular email system. So that's one way I thought about, but I have to double check with compliance if that's an option, because I know that through Ignite transactions portal, you can submit sensitive material through there, like the SI, trust documents, LLC documents, and through that portal, everything is secure because it's harder for them to tap into that than just a regular email system.
Yeah. Now, and worst comes to worst, if that happened, in spite of all the precautions and everything, who's responsible for the sent wiring? Who's going to be responsible for that?
No, I don't know nobody gets responsible for it because it's fraud.
Yeah,
So, and it's fraud.
but this money is gone, right? If you send it to some fraudulent email
Yeah,
or
gone.
the wiring, and the money is gone. So how are you going to chase after that?
It's very difficult to chase because I know that once you file a police report and all that stuff, the police really don't.
They don't
Unfortunately,
care.
there's not
I had a
much they
case
could
like
do.
that. I had a case like that, and it took 2 years to
Yeah.
go through the litigation and everything. Finally, get the money back. It was from the insurance policy to get the money
Yeah.
back. But after 2 years and you know, attorney fees of over $50,000, you know.
Yeah.
So it's really really bad, you know. So
Yeah.
you really want to prevent it from happening.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it can create a lot of trouble for you.
A lot of trouble. So it's just, you know, it's just the way the system is going. Like I don't know what's happening to this society. It's just
You know, what,
It's,
you know
it's a
what?
sign. It's
Why
a sign
can't
that
they put
it's a sign that
insurance covering over when they have wire frauds? They should have the escrow companies, just like the bank. You're guaranteed if your money is not there, there's something to back that money where that money will be replaced back to the person. You know what I'm saying? Our money is guaranteed with the banks because they cover us up. It's an insurance that they could probably take out. And if the escrow companies and mortgage companies and stuff would do that. Something that would guarantee their money getting there. If it doesn't get there, their money is back. You follow me?
there's no such thing as FDIC in the escrow. So I don't know how the escrow will really.
Well, they
there's
can work on it. They can work on it because it shouldn't be where people's money is just taken. Now I'm through.
Angie, question. So this is happening because like the bank routing number is stolen or changed through email?
And Angie, you have to unmute yourself, please. Angie, you have to unmute yourself.
She's driving.
Oh, sorry,
there
yeah,
you
no, sorry, I was on the wrong screen.
Uh.
So, what was the question? Sorry, I missed it.
So,
Forgot.
this fraud is happening because, for example, the escrow company emails the buyer and says, okay, wire your money, and they wire it to the wrong number, right? This is what's happening?
Well, that's one scenario. The other scenario is that when escrow sends us the documents for the payoffs,
Oh, I see.
it gets intercepted in route. So once escrow sends it off, they're sending off the correct one, but as it comes and reaches us, it gets intercepted, and then they switch out the documents. And then when it reaches to our title unit, they cross-reference it one step. And then the second step is it goes into payoff, and then payoff department cross-references it again. And they're like, wait, this is incorrect. And then that's
Okay.
how we know that the email's been compromised.
So that's between escrow and title. The buyer would not be responsible for that, right?
Well, the problem is once it gets intercepted, it's like highway robbery. It's hard to
Say
to-
whose fault.
yeah, who's at fault, because it gets, it gets intercepted, and once it gets intercepted, if it's not caught, it's gone. Just like if somebody, was to rob you at the bank.
Right,
It's
but
just happening.
who's the one who loses out on the money? The title company?
No, the buyer.
No, the buyer loses it. It's really sad. I've had it
Yeah.
happen before. I mean, a while ago. It hasn't happened in like with my files recently, but a while ago it did happen, and the buyer, lost all his money because it got intercepted in between, and we never received the money. So it's really, really sad.
Oh, wow. Okay. I've
Can
never
I
heard
ask,
that. Okay.
I'm sorry, can I ask you something, Angie?
Sure.
When they have a closing transaction in escrow, is it possible, is it done right now, that they include in the forms the wire instruction, that way it comes out directly through the closing package? Is it done that way? Can it be done that way?
Usually when we close what do you mean, for the funds to be sent to particular people? To the,
Yeah, for the closing funds to escrow, does it come in the loan package, or from the lender, from the escrow, from somebody, or how does the buyer get that last escrow instructions?
usually from escrow.
And it usually,
in the closing package?
it usually comes with the loan documents for the final closing funds. But escrow, if you have a good escrow company, a lot of like our employees, we get educated on phishing emails. So agents too need to be very careful, because these online hackers, they are good at getting into agents' emails, buyers' emails, escrow email, title email. And when they see there's a closing happening, that's when they go in and do all this type of phishing. So I highly encourage buyers and sellers to communicate with escrow over the phone during the transaction at least once or twice. In our office, we like to communicate with them, because it like Angie was saying, it may be the buyer or the agent that email got compromised, and then here comes a random email saying that they're the seller. So the key is to have good live communication with the escrow company. But Angie's correct. Her title company is doing a great job. When there's that extra layer, it protects everyone. That demand situation, I've heard instances too where escrow was doing the deal, and the seller was emailing the escrow officer, but out of nowhere, the seller said that they have a new email. But guess what? That was the hacker. And then they sent the demand for escrow to submit to title. But like Angie says, her title company, they will double check it. But what I think Angie's saying is, everyone be cognizant of email phishing, and always look when the email comes. It's always smart to open it up and see who the email's coming from, because you can always change the name, right? So they can say it's coming from Litton Servicing, right? But then if you read the email, it's some random email. So there's a lot of stuff that you can look online about protecting yourself from this type of phishing, but it's out there. This is the new way of financial crime right now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It used to be you're corresponding by fax. fax is
Right.
fast, safer than
Right.
email, you know?
Yep.
So I think now you should have a double verification system where you have you know, text messages to verify the
Right.
content of your the email, so that it will be a double you know, protection.
Yes,
I have,
excuse
I
me,
have, a que-
this
I have
is,
a question
this is
to
Val. I
Ann.
just wanted to say something. This happens also between escrow and escrow. Because escrow sends funds and the other guys, I mean, it's some kind of a get it before escrow gets it. So escrow gotta be very careful too, not only the buyer to buy the money, escrow to escrow. And I
Of
know
course,
that happened
of
not
course.
long ago. That was from Zillow, friend of mine. They sold the house and they bought another one. But Zillow got escrow in Arizona or somewhere, and these
Mhm.
guys were down there in San Diego, Sacramento, and escrow in Sacramento didn't get the money from from Zillow, and I guess they intercepted the email
Mhm.
from the buyer or account from the escrow
Yep.
to whose account is supposed to go, and navigate to Chase into Sacramento, and Zillow ate that money
Wow.
because Zillow didn't want to fight it. And it was about 300,000, I think.
Wow.
Yikes.
That was about a year ago. My friend of mine told me he didn't sleep for 2 weeks.
I can imagine.
But this is escrow to escrow. They have to make sure that they verify who escrow to escrow. They have to know who they send the money. But they said up there at Zillow that this lady was under pressure. They don't have enough people,
Oh my
and they
God.
did not. It was toward the end of the day, and when she received to send the money from escrow,
Oh my.
she sent it, and that was that.
I have a
Escrow
question.
101 is to always call and verify the wire.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah.
I have a question to you, Ann,
Mhm.
Jeffrey.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do you if my buyer or seller calls you for the wire transfer, how do you have a countermeasure to verify that's a true seller or true buyer?
I'm sorry, if there's a what?
If my seller or my buyer calls you for the money transfer, can you verify if the one on the phone is a real seller? What's your
Well,
countermeasure?
okay, so in our office, for sellers proceeds, we always require an instruction for proceeds notarized. So we get an actual form that's notarized by a notary public. We always suggest the seller to come into the escrow office, but if not, we will get a mobile notary, or they can go out to get a notary done. So that, and then what we do is when we get those instructions from proceeds, when we're about to wire the funds at the closing, we will actually call the seller to reconfirm the wire instructions that they provided. Mhm.
That's great. Yeah, that's a good countermeasure.
Yeah.
Yeah, this kind of thing is a complicated matter, and you know, somehow they always one step ahead of us, you know, those
Yep.
hackers.
Yep.
That's the sad thing, you know, so just have to be very vigilant all the time. But anyway, it was good information, Angie. Thank you for sharing with us. And
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And I'll see you guys for the Halloween party, right? At 12.
Yeah,
luncheon.
at 12 o'clock. We'll see you then. Okay.
Okay.
Is there any more affiliates that didn't get introduced? Okay. So if not, then we'll continue the meeting. Let's see. I think we want Don Meyer to tell us something about his office.
Hey,
Don?
everybody. How you doing? Greetings
Hi.
from Arcadia. Peter, you're absolutely right. It is cold out there.
Yeah, so
I went for a walk this morning and turned around and came back and rode the bike,
I know.
the stationary bike in a heated house. Yeah, it's cold out there.
So be careful. Don't get a cold or flu.
No. Anyway, I want to say that Annie is absolutely right. My daughter works at a escrow company, and they have a secure system of setting out the email address, but I bought a property in January, and I'm telling you, I'm at the bank and I called escrow from the bank to verify those numbers that I had. I
Mhm.
mean, a phone call
Yep.
before you wire to the
Yeah.
escrow directly to verify your number will probably eliminate about 99% of that problem.
Amen.
So that's the way we do it. So anyway, be cautious out there. Call your escrow, please, right
Mhm.
before the wiring goes. Okay, so we have a few listings and a few sales I'm going to tell you about here in Arcadia. We have a retail commercial lease in Almani on Valley Boulevard. Young Chen has it. It's $25.50 a month for commercial lease, which after several years that commission adds up. Also, we have a residential lease in Temple City for $1,700. Steve Sattler has that, and we also have a studio condo for $420 on Normandy Avenue in Los Angeles. It's a 1-bedroom, 1.5 bath for a studio. I never seen a 1.5 bath, but that's what they say it has. And a couple of the sales we've had in Cerritos, Ming Lee had a sale. Her buyer, $1,360,000. Sean Pan had a buyer in Baldwin Park, $598,000. Wendy Lee had a buyer in Arcadia on Palm, $2,700,000. And Nick Borelli also in Arcadia, his listing on Second Avenue, $1,450,000. I was driving around the Arcadia Temple City area over the weekend, lots of open houses. So there are a lot of listings out there. So I encourage all of you guys, call your sphere of influence. And during this holiday time is a wonderful time to keep in contact with the people your family, your neighbors, your friends, your past clients, because everybody is going to do something in the near future sometime. They do. I mean, you'd be amazed at how many times people don't think they're going to move and they do move due to a death, a divorce, or whatever. Kids moving out of state, and now they got to follow the kids. Lots of reasons for people selling, even in this market. So go out and reach out to your clients. I encourage you. And that's it for me, Peter.
All right, thank you, Doug.
Have a
Good
great
job.
week, everybody.
All right, thank you. Well, as for Alhambra, it's kind of thin to that this week. We only had one listing, which is 1446 Tony Bland and Glen in Claremont for 1.39 million, listed by the Sunshine Galvan. So congratulations, Sunshine. And for the escrow, we have two escrows. So the first one is 233 West Commercial Street, San Dimas, for 935,000. It was well, Stephen Trent double-ended it, and it was a residential house for 935,000. North Almanza Street in Alhambra is the lease by Krishna Jain for $34,800. So congratulations, Christine. Chris, what happened?
We can still see you, Peter. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I cannot see it. What happened?
Oh, we can see you.
You could? Yeah. What happened to my screen? Oh, my goodness. It was totally black, dark. I think I have to go out of this and then come back.
Okay, we'll be here.
Okay.
If anybody from the Arcadia office is in our area, feel free to stop by our spectacular lunch today at noon in the training room as well.
I'm looking forward to seeing a bunch of costumes today.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it too, Sylvia. It's going to be fun
Yeah,
just to have a minute to talk.
yes.
Okay, can you see now? Michelle, can you see me now?
Yep.
Okay, I don't know what happened. It's just go completely down. Okay, so where was I? Did I get through the sales? Did I get through the sales?
Yes, you did.
Yes.
Okay, okay, so well, I don't have the birthdays informations since Ruben was not here, so I'm gonna skip that this week. We'll announce it next week. With that, I would like to share anybody want have any unlisted properties that they want to share or any open houses that they want to announce before I go on to my message? Anybody? Okay, if not, I would like to share something with you today. And let me see. Oh, what happened? So, yeah. What? Let me see. I didn't open the.
Peter, you need a new computer.
Yeah, I have to open it in my computer first. Yes. Okay, can you see it now?
Not yet.
Okay, not yet. Okay. Now I'm going to share screen. Okay. Okay.
Yes, we see it.
Now can you see now?
Yep.
Okay, all right. I'm just going to give you the DLE update, which I do every 3 months. I want to share the announcement of the DLE so that you can be fully informed of what's happening. For this. So this time, the DLE really want to emphasize the broker supervision for all the agents this time. They want to remind everybody that that it's very important to have a broker supervision on all the agents and all the brokers affiliates. As you know, there are two type of licenses. One is the agent's license, one is the broker's license. Now, for agent's license, you are supposed to affiliate with a broker, in order to practice real estate. Because by yourself you cannot function on your own. You must have the broker's supervision. Now for there's another license which is the broker's license, which you have to have. It's a total different kind of license. You have to have 2 years agent's license experience first, or you have the equivalent of 4-year college with all the necessary real estate education in order to get your broker's license. Once you get your broker's license, you can open up your own business, or you can you can be on your own and practicing real estate. But if you only have a agent's license, then you have to associate with the broker, just like when you associate with Coldwell Banker George. Now the you know that the requirements is necessary in order to have the maximum protection for the real estate consumer. So the DLE is cracking down on the agents who are not associated with any broker, and they're conducting their own business. And actually, that's kind of dangerous because without brokers association with the broker, you don't have the E&O insurance. And once you get in trouble, you get sued, and there's no recourses, and it can be in a lot of trouble, and you can be sued for practicing without the appropriate licensure. So never do that. And if you are a fire from the company, then as being a real estate agent, you have to immediately get association with another broker, either a company, a corporate broker, or a broker with a broker's license. So that's important, and you don't want to be caught practicing real estate without proper licensing. Okay, and there's a lot of discussions and how the brokers may satisfy their duty as the brokers supervision. They're making it very strict now. They are always auditing the broker or the companies, and when that is something wrong, the first thing they will do is go into the company and ask for all the documentations. And if the documentations are not readily available, then it can create a lot of trouble. They can either suspend your license, or they can fine you, or make life difficult for you. So here in the Coldwell Banker George, we really have to emphasize the broker supervision. We're giving all the agents the necessary training and necessary supervision, and also have the necessary documentations, because in order to survive in this competitive real estate world, you got to be prepared for everything that is required of you. So what you need to do is you have to we here in Coldwell Banker George, we have to manage all the transaction requiring real estate license. We have to get all the documentations that have material fact upon the right and obligation of a party to the transaction. In other words, all the documents that pertaining to the seller and the buyer, and all, and you have to store the necessary the documents either electronically or physically. Here in Coldwell Banker George, all the documents are stored electronically within the Sky Slope. So you can be rest assured that when if you are missing some documents, it is electronically available in the Sky Slope. So just like recently we have a problem, somebody complained about an agent, and the DLE just sent us a letter demanding all the documents in the transaction, and we have to give it to him right away. And so if we don't, then the DLE will say that, hey, you're not supervising your agents adequately, and then you have a difficult time to explain why it's not so. And also handling the trust fund. Now, we don't have a trust fund in Coldwell Banker George, so you don't have to worry about it. But the advertising of any service for the license, for which a license is required, that is important. You don't make sure that you don't have a discrimination or misrepresentation in any advertising. And also, you are supposed to comply with all the state laws and federal laws, and also that you're not discriminating against anybody on the 26 categories, which we have have a lot of training on that already. So you should be pretty versed with the discrimination claims. So and also the regular and consistent reports of the license activity of the affiliated licensees. So all those you know, necessary. And so you know, when Anna or the TC require information from you or kind of document from you, be sure that you provide it to her so that we'll be ready when the DLE want those kind of information. Okay, so these are very important, and also the DL is stepping up on the, you know, enforcing the supervision by the broker. And as a matter of fact, they're looking into EXP and why you know you know that from in EXP they have one broker supervising thousands of agents. I don't know how they do that. You know, I have about 250 agents in Coldwell Banker George, and you know I have my hands full already, and I don't see how one broker can manage thousands of agents, you know, with adequate supervision. So this is the kind of things that the DLE is looking into, and hopefully that will have some definitive guidance as to what need to be improved and implemented. So we'll yet to see. Okay, another thing that I think that the DLE want us to be aware of is there's a lot of vacant land property scams. I have talked about that a little bit briefly before, and you know, the scammers are kind of getting very smart now, you know, and sometimes most of the time they search the public record to identify the property that are usually free of mortgages, because when they're free of mortgages, the owners probably don't look at that very clearly and very carefully, and also you don't have to deal with the lender. You know, anytime you deal with the lender is more cognizant of what's happening about the fraud or scams, you know, on the property. So what they do is that they search the public record and find out that, hey, there's some property of vacant lands that are free of mortgages, then they post as a seller and ask you to list the property for them. And then also usually they request the property to be listed below the market value, so that to generate immediate interest, so that they can sell it quickly. And also requires that you don't put the for sale sign posted on the property. And also they prefer cash buyers, because that way you can quickly accept an offer and demand a quick closing. And another quick interesting thing is that they usually refuse to meet in person. You know, when you ask the person, they have all kind of excuses not to meet with you. Or they says, oh, you know, I am not free, I am out of state, and you know, it's not convenient for me to meet with you and all that. And also they don't want to attend the signing either, because they said, oh, I'm out of state and it's convenient to me, so I can arrange you know, a notary public to do the signing. And this kind of things to make it easier for them to defraud you. How do you prevent the scam? Well, you have to do your homework. First of all, you have to find out who the real owners is, and see if that the real owner matches the records in title company or in the property profile. And also, you know, once you have a listing, you send an overnight mail a copy of electronic signed listing to the address on record, with the request to confirm the listing's accuracy. That way, the real owner of the property can be notified that, hey, you know, someone is trying to sell his property, and then if you get a telephone and saying that, hey, I'm not selling the property, then it's really a red flag for you. So, and also require the property owner to provide a copy of voided check with the seller's disbursement authorization form, so that they will they will agree to have the disbursement on to the rightful owner, or use wire verification service to confirm the wiring instructions. And another thing is, I don't know whether you are aware of that, the QR form, the QR code is getting more popular now. It's a lot of, like especially in restaurant, when you go to the restaurant and then they have QR form in the front and say, you can access the menu, so from your cell phone, all you have to do is to scan the QR code and get access to the menu. They do the same thing in the real estate. You put a QR form there, and then you get all the information about the property, where it is, and all the go to the website that contains all the information. But the sad thing is, it's convenient, but that gives you the scammer another avenue to defraud you. So the DLE is sending a warning that if you are using the QR code, you have to be very careful. Sometimes they replace your QR code with their own, so that they will divert all the information to their own websites. So that can be very detrimental to your property listing or whatever you need to do. So regularly check all your QR codes to make sure that they are linking to the right website. Okay. All right. That's some questions that I want to test you on the real estate law. Now, first one is that must a licensed person be present at the open houses? Well, I mean, you don't have to have a licensed person. I mean, a non-licensed person is not necessarily forbidden to be present at the open house. But if they are present, they cannot do much. They cannot say anything about the property. They cannot talk to the prospective buyers and talk to the other agent. In other words, they cannot conduct anything that pertains to the practice of real estate. So all they can do is like opening the door, getting you some information. But as far as communication is concerned, they should zip their mouth and not say anything. So because if they participate in any of the real estate transaction, being a unlicensed person, they're not supposed to do that. Now another question is on a simple sign that says open house 123 Sesame Street, is a license number required? Now, when you're dealing with business and you're handing out the business card, your license number must appear on the business card. But if you only have, say, an open house and nothing else, or an open house for rent or for lease, for nothing else, and no name or no trademark or no branding of the real estate license, then you don't need to have a license number with you. So that is only exceptions. Okay. What about, can a licensee hold an open house to indicate that the family with children are discouraged? Now that is a no-no. Okay. Unless it is specifically approved senior housing community where it's only rented, or only the senior can occupy the premises. Now, other than that, you cannot discriminate a family with children. You cannot say that, oh, the children are too noisy, and we want to keep a quiet neighborhood in our complex, and so the children are not required. No, that is a discrimination against families. So that is a no-no. Okay. Okay, can a licensee holding a whole open house leave the house open for a while and leaving a sign that says back in 30 minutes? feel free to look around, things like that. I think that's a bad practice because, you know, if you have an open house, you're responsible for safeguarding the people, the house, and things in the house, you know. So by walking around, walking away from it, you create a lot of liability for you, for your company, and a lot of liability for your guests. So that is not recommended, and that is not proper way to do it. Now, lastly, you probably, if you're really renewing your license after July 1st, 2023, you probably realize that you no longer get a pocket license card from the DLE. The reason is that because they stopped issuing that already. So all you can print, you can access or print your official license certificate online through the e-licensing. That's very easy. But as far as a pocket license card is concerned, they no longer issue that. So you have to utilize the e-licensing to print out the certificate of your license. Okay, so that's all I have to share with you today. I hope that it will give you some information about the DLE. If there's any question, please ask me. Is there any questions?
Yeah,
Yes,
Peter.
Michael. Yeah.
I have a question regarding, you were talking about trust funds.
Yeah.
When I was doing a business opportunity, there was no escrow involved because there was no licenses or no liquor license or anything like that.
Yes.
And the other agent had me write the commission check and the check from my buyer directly to his company. And I said, I'm really, really leery of doing that. So how do I handle that? If the other broker wants me to write the check to his company.
You mean you're not using an escrow for
no, there was no escrow because it was.
You should
You
should use escrow. I don't think you should do it on your own. That would be too much liability.
Well, there was no liquor licenses or anything like that involved.
Any business opportunity, you should use an escrow.
I agree with Peter. We do bulk sales without liquor license too.
Yeah,
and we still do. Yeah. There's a lot of
that.
components on a business yeah.
All you can do with an attorney, okay? Attorney can have the trust account.
Yeah, this was a nail salon.
But I don't care with nail salons. A nail salon is still a business opportunity, So
yeah,
you should, and also you should do the bulk. I mean, the diligence too. The due diligence too. You make sure that you don't have UCC filings and
correct.
All that. It's
creditors,
even more complicated than a regular escrow.
Yes,
you should do it yourself.
Yeah, just like Peter said, we filed the notice to creditors. It gets published in the newspaper. The creditors all have so many days to contact the seller because there's a lot of business transfers going on during that once the sale happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Franco. All right.
Got it. But this was like 8 years ago. That's why I'm asking.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Any more questions for anybody?
Well, Peter, not really a question, just a comment regarding the selling, the vacant land. Share with you my experience with one of my clients who own a piece of land in Fontana. And the piece of land have some trees. Then he noticed there are some family just moving. I had to build some kind of temporary housing and hiding behind the trees. And not only doing that, they are starting to crop all kinds of fruits and selling that.
Wow.
Oh my God. Of course, the owner informed the police. The police came down there and I think somehow to evict them. Guess what? 3 days later, they moved back. So, all this kind of vacant land, you have to be very careful and
Yeah.
pay attention on to see, hey, is anything hidden or, not easy to be visualized before some of the maybe some trees or some structures. You'll be surprised someday, next day you are going to have someone move in,
Mhm.
whole family move in over there. And as well as I have a client right now, they finally evict the homeless. It's a property, it's vacant behind the gate. Okay? And it's become vacant and some homeless professional break in.
Yeah.
So they occupy the whole property and they come to ask me for help. I say, sorry, you need to see an attorney. I
Yeah.
cannot help you. I'm not an attorney. And
Yeah,
it took them
that's
probably
yeah.
probably 4 months or something like that. And I don't know how much it costs for them to evict those guys. And
Right.
even they got the court judgment, they still have wait for, I don't know about legal things, the
Yeah.
clearance before they can even rekey the property. So anything which is vacant, you have to be very careful.
Right. That's a good advice. Yeah, there's a lot of squatter out there. They're waiting for opportunities. Once you get the squatter, occupy your vacant property, it will take a long time to evict them. And I was told that one case it took 1 year to evict all the squatters out there top property. That's very headache. Thank you for sharing, Steve.
No problem. Thanks.
Okay. Any more questions? Any more things to share? Okay. Now, if not, then that's the end of the meeting today. I hope you have a nice week, and we'll see you next week. Okay. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.